Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're going to be reviewing the BSN Syntha-6 isolate. It's the new protein that came out from BSN. The original Syntha-6, for those of you that do know, it was named 6 because there was purportedly 6 different types of protein in there, but that's a little semantics. It was a whey, egg, casein blend, so technically 3, which is fine, but sometimes we'll say whey isolate, whey concentrate. They were kind of counting those as 2 separate sources. What kind of protein from this one, Glenn?
Whey protein isolate and milk protein isolate. So it is isolate proteins. Got a blend of some fast-absorbing and slow-absorbing proteins that's in here. And
the milk protein is what, about 80% casein, 20% whey?
Yes.
So it's basically a whey casein blend. When you see milk, it's a way to see it as a whey casein, so it's going to be a little bit more filling, thick, creamy, rich, kind of what you were used to with the original Syntha-6, because there's some fat added to this as well,
yeah, they add sunflower powder, corn syrup solids, sodium casemates, diglycerides, a few other things, soy lecithin. They also had a fiber blend with inulin and polydextrose, so those ingredients are going to make it a creamier shake, more like a milkshake texture, whether you add it with water or milk, and it can be blended with either one.
Okay, and now we get a lot of questions too. Sometimes people are worried about soy lecithin and things like that. The amounts are typically pretty minute in these if you are really concerned with it, unless you have some kind of an allergy or something like that. They're put in there as emulsifiers, to make the water and fat-soluble compounds, mixable together. So that's what it comes down to. Calorie-wise, there's not a ton of calories in this. Per 1 scoop, it's 2 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein. So we say not a lot of calories relative to, say, a meal replacement powder or a weight gainer, compared to maybe just like a straight whey protein isolate with nothing added to it. Yes, there's a little bit more calories, but it's all going to come down to how it fits into your macronutrient goals. It's not as if you drink this and in other words, you could use it whether you're bulking up or leaning out.
Exactly.
If you're bulking up, add carbohydrates to it or eat some carbs, right?
Comparing it to the original Syntha-6, this is less calories. I think the original was somewhere around 200 calories. This is only around 150 per scoop. So
similar serving size too.
Yeah, similar serving size, lower calories. Again, like John said, you can use it for bulking, cutting, either way.
Yeah, so bottom line, it's a whey casein protein. That's the way to look at it. When you see milk, just think whey casein. Now, the whey protein isolate that's in here, we don't know the method for which the protein was isolated. Now, typically, if it's CFM or microfilter, they're going to say, hey, this is a CFM or microfilter whey protein isolate, which is preferable when you're talking about whey protein isolates, because that's what makes whey protein great. A lot of the microfractions that if you go and look, whey is basically a superfood. It's anti-carcinogenic, it helps support the immune system, all these great benefits. Well, when you use ion exchange, for instance, where you exploit charges to isolate a protein, you'll get, yes, a higher yield of protein, but you'll destroy many of those microfractions that make whey great. So it's a little bit cheaper of a process as opposed to, say, a microfilter, ultrafilter, or CFM, which is just a trademark name for the process of using, the microfilters, nanofilters, just different pore sizes on the filtering, which tends to be done a little gentler, I guess we'd say, with pH changes, temperature changes, things like that. Now, what about the milk protein? It's isolated, so it's probably going to be micellar casein, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't give exactly if it's micellar casein or the source, or the method of extraction. And they do have what's called Isolast. It's their exclusive proprietary isolate protein matrix developed by BSN. So they do have a patented, their patent of, or trademark, I should say, protein mix, which is the whey isolate and the milk protein isolate. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that pretty much sums it up. I'm trying to think of other questions that we typically get when we do some of the protein powder videos we do are a little bit redundant, but some of the questions, hey, can I use this to bulk up? Can I use this to gain? And things like that.
Or women can take it. That doesn't matter. It's not gender specific.
Mm-hmm. Lactose. There is probably going to be some lactose in here from the milk. So it depends how sensitive you are. There's varying sensitivities to lactose and one's ability to digest it. Some people do fine just by adding some probiotics to their diet. And when you look at probiotics, strain is very, very important. If you just take probiotics, they may not do anything. Also, you have to look at the count to make sure it's high enough to help you. Or you could take lactase. Or if you're really sensitive, you could just avoid it altogether and just go with something like a whey protein isolate. Or if you're a vegan or vegetarian, some of those powders have really improved as well. So, hopefully answered all your guys' questions. If you have any others, please post them in the comments section of the video or the blog. We're more than happy to answer them. Also, check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thanks for watching.